Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I want to talk about something a little bit different, but still in the same type of trends as the previous videos I've been doing in regards to listing certain players, whether they be forwards or defense, and if they've been underrated or just gain not enough attention this season. So for this video, I want to talk about 5 NHL players. They are all forwards who are established NHLers in the league who don't get nearly as much recognition as I believe they deserve. They're all on the levels of really good and elite. And yeah, with that being said, this was just 5 players I chose. I definitely could have picked some others as well, but these were just some that really first came across my mind. And these are all also players that have at least hit the 70-point mark in their career once. So, with that being said, I'm going to start things off with Teravainen, who inspired me to make this video. If you don't know who I'm assuming you know who Tavo is. He's 25 years old. He's in his 7th NHL season. He's currently with the Carolina Hurricanes, and he was originally drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks and played parts of 3 seasons with them before being traded over to Carolina. And he has been absolutely phenomenal with this Carolina team. And I feel that because of the fact that Carolina has the likes of Aho, Svechnikov, and the type of decor that they have, that Teravainen gets overlooked quite a bit. I don't hear a lot about him, and I really find that surprising because he is a very well-rounded player, great in his own zone, and great offensively too. Really is becoming an elite passer in the league, and him playing alongside Aho and or Svechnikov too, and wherever he's put in the lineup, he succeeds. He's been great on the power play for them and in both ways special teams. And in 36 games played this season, he has only 7 goals, but 29 assists for 36 points. So he's on pace to be a point-per-game player this season, which is fantastic for his case. And last season, he had 76 points. And in the 2017-2018 season, he had 64. So he has only been getting better and better as he's gotten older. And he is one of numerous players I felt that Chicago Blackhawks really slept on and kind of gave up on too soon. And Teravainen is definitely an example of that. I truly admire his game. I like a lot that there is when it comes to him. And like I said, I just feel that he really isn't getting the attention he deserves. And as Carolina is becoming a better and better team, he is a huge part of that. I feel that without him in the lineup, they would have a glaring hole that would affect them directly, especially in their top 6 and on special teams. So Teravainen is one of those players that really isn't getting as much attention because he isn't necessarily as flashy as guys like Aho and as coveted as young guys like Andrei Svechnikov. But he is really proving to be a crucial part of this Carolina Hurricanes team. And as long as they continue the run they have and have deep playoff runs, he's only going to continue to be a key contributor to this team. So I'm a huge fan of his game, and I really believe that him especially needs to be getting talked about more. And I don't understand why he hasn't been to this point in his career yet. So to start things off, I picked Teuvo Teravainen, and then my second pick is going to be Evgeny Danilov of the Florida Panthers. Danilov has played parts of 6 seasons in the NHL. He's 30 years old, one of the older picks I have. And Danilov originally started off his career with the Panthers in the early 2010s, and then I believe it was around 2010, 2011. He then left for the KHL, and at that point he really hadn't done much on the NHL level with the Panthers. Left and then came back a couple seasons ago and has done a really great job for this Florida team, who has been one of the best offensive teams in the league, all in part to their depth scoring. Now Danilov is off to, I shouldn't say a slower pace, but a little bit more inconsistent than he has in years prior. In 35 games played so far this year, he has 13 goals, 13 assists for 26 points. Last season, he had 70 points in the 2018-2019 season, and then the season prior in 2017-2018, he had 65. So he's another one of those that is right in between that 65 and 70 point column, and another one that, even though that pretty much everyone, it seems, on this Florida team gets overlooked because of not having a big fan base like Huberdeau, Barkov, guys even like Hoffman, Brett Connolly, etc., and Vinny Trocheck. Danov has been huge for them. He's another one of those that has a lethal shot, will get you 25 to 30 goals every season, and key contributor on power play, and isn't a defensive liability, which is great because that tends to happen with a lot of young, I shouldn't say young, but established Russian forwards that come over from the KHL. But he isn't much of a liability by any means, so that's great to see. And overall, Danov is just a really solid player. I've enjoyed watching him a lot. He has a significant skill set that I think gets overlooked a lot given the guys that are around him. But he makes things happen constantly offensively, and he will randomly at times get you to have a 2-goal game or even a hat trick. He's highly skilled, and in my opinion, really doesn't get talked about much in the league when he really should be getting it. So Danov would be my pick that I have from the Florida Panthers, and there are many other players in the league I could pick, but he's definitely one that just crossed my mind right away as an established NHLer who's been a 70-point getter and is on pace to have close, if not 70 points again this season. So my next pick then, and this is probably the least established player in the NHL, and that is Jake Gensel. He's 25 years old. He's in his 4th season, and even though he's only been in the league 4 seasons, I really don't get why he's not being talked about. He is one of the best goal scorers in the NHL already, and he's one of those that really worked his way up through the system in order to be what he's now been with this Pittsburgh team. In 36 games played this season, he has 18 goals, 19 assists, 37 points. He had 76 points last season, and in the year prior, in 2017-2018, he had 48. So a significant jump, and now he is already on pace to be an above point-per-game player, so I expect over 80 points from him this year. And he has been lights out for Pittsburgh, like I've talked about him in previous videos regarding the Penguins. With all the injuries that they've dealt with all season long, he's continued to step up, and no matter who he's been paired with, whether it be Crosby, whether it be Malkin, whether it be Jared McCann, etc., whoever it may be, he's still making things happen. Like I've said prior, he's not a product of any players around him. He is his own player, and regardless what team he would be on, I think he would still have the same amount of success. He has a lethal shot as well, can contribute defensively when needed, is great in the neutral zone. Just overall, he has a great sense of hockey IQ, and he's a shooter, and we all know that. He had 40 goals last season, and I fully expect him to have 40, if not more, this season, because he's on pace to have 41 goals and over 40 assists. So overall, Gensel is a fantastic young player who, in my mind, doesn't get nearly as much talked about as he deserves, partially because he's playing for Pittsburgh, and when you think about Pittsburgh, obviously the first thing that will always dawn on you is Crosby and Malkin. So he's been overshadowed a bit, but I think that as Crosby and Malkin continue to get older too, Gensel is only going to show more and more just how an elite player he is, and he will hopefully get more recognition that he rightfully deserves. So Jake Gensel is my pick from the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's my 3rd pick now. Now to finish out the last 2 with the 4th pick, and this is the oldest player I have on the list. This was a player that really was making me debate on picking him or possibly some other players on the Dallas Stars, but Alexander Radulov, he's 33 years old, similar to Evgeny Danov, started off his career and with the Nashville Predators, really didn't do much for a couple seasons, then went to the KHL. Then around 4 or 5 seasons ago, he came back to the NHL, played a year in Montreal, and then signed a big contract for the Dallas Stars. And he has been really, really good, and I understand that he's 33. His play is slowly on the decline, but what he's done the past 2 seasons too, I just don't really get why he isn't talked about. I get that he's in Dallas, but he is another elite top 6 forward in the league that is not getting the recognition he deserves. He's in his 7th NHL season, and in 35 games played this year, he has 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points. So he's a little bit behind in regards to years prior in regards to his point production, but I think that will continue to get better as the season goes on, as Dallas is trying to find more of a consistency in their game, and whenever they get on a run especially, he's normally a huge part of that. So, and in last season he had 72 points, and the year prior in 2017-2018 he had 72 as well. So talk about consistency. pretty much since being with Dallas, he's been fantastic for them. Has filled a glaring hole that they've needed in regards to scoring, and they've continued to be finicky when it comes to scoring goals, but their defense and goaltending makes up for it. And hopefully, if they could get Radulov, Sagan, Ben, Hintz, all of them clicking, then good things are going to happen for the Stars team. But overall, Radulov has been an elite goal scorer in this league for quite some time now. You can expect 25, 30 goals out of him, 70-point range. And he's been doing it for a decent amount of years now, where it truly doesn't make sense to me why he doesn't get talked about as much as he has. I understand that as of late, he's been healthy scratches at times for this Stars team because he lacks defensive play. And like I said, that comes with being a Russian forward from the KHL. They just have a different mindset when it comes to defense and just overall hockey play. So, but overall, besides what his current struggles have been, he has been an elite scorer in this league for quite some time now. And he was one of those that first dawned on me as soon as I thought about making this kind of video. So, Alexander Radulov is my pick from the Dallas Stars. And to conclude this video, there is some bias with it, but I think it's rightfully so, and that is Mika Zibanejad. Mika Zibanejad is 26 years old. He's in his 9th NHL season already, which is mind-blowing me. I can't believe he's been in the league that long already. Obviously, if you don't know, Mika Zibanejad first started off his career with the Ottawa Senators for a couple seasons, and then was traded for Derek Brassard along with some picks. And since then, since he's joined the Rangers, he has just gotten better and better. In 22 games played this year, because he had an injury, he was out for about a month. He has 12 goals, 14 assists for 26 points. He's above a point per game player currently. And last season, he really broke out. He has 74 points when the Rangers had a not good offense whatsoever, and he was the one bright spot on the team, it seemed. And in the year prior, in 2017-2018, he had 47 points. So Mika has only gotten better as well, and I fully expect him to get over 80 points this season, whether he's on Panarin or not. He single-handedly gets things done. I love everything about his game. I hope that he's a future captain in New York Rangers, because he has that leadership aspect about him, his personality, and his game that I love. He is so great in his own zone defensively. He's by no means a liability. He is very solid on the penalty kill. He's great on the power play. Great shot as well, but his high Q is off the charts. His passing is ridiculous. And obviously, this is with me being a Rangers fan, watching him more than I've watched some of the other players on this list. But without being as biased as possible, I think that Mika is a fantastic young player who's established, been in the league for almost 10 years now, and is only going to continue to get better. And he's definitely one of those guys I think deserves more recognition than what he gets. And now the fact that Artemi Panarin's on the Rangers too, it can be kind of easy to overlook him at times. But Mika is one of those that will get around a point per game every single night, and he's only getting better, and he's in the prime of his career. So I thought that he was very deserving to be in this video on my list of these 5 players, because I look at a lot of other top centers in the NHL, and Mika has continued to progress, and as long as he has at least 80 points this season, then he definitely deserves to be in the talks of easily one of the top 10 centers in the league. So that is going to conclude this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, I could have picked a lot of different players from the NHL, but these were honestly the first 5 that crossed my mind and I felt deserved to be talked about. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. I'll be back in a couple days. I'm going to the Ranger game tonight in Philly against the Flyers. That's why I have this gear on. I'm going to try to upload this video in time before the game starts. If for whatever reason it doesn't and I end up uploading it tomorrow because it takes a while to upload the videos, I apologize, but that is going to do it. And I'll be back in a couple days. So drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment if you want to talk about anything, and be sure to come back for more NHL content. So thank you.